I still remember the way the courtroom smelled like old wood polish and cold coffee. I sat in the front row, back straight, hands folded in my lap, wearing the same soft gray dress I'd worn on our wedding day. Across the aisle, my husband, James, wouldn't meet my eyes. He stared at the floor like it owed him answers. His brother, Ethan, sat 2 rows behind him, jaw tight, arms crossed. The same arms that had held me in secret for months. My name is Victoria. I was 31 when I married James. We met in law school, fell hard and fast. He was charming, ambitious, the kind of man who made promises feel like guarantees. We built a life together, a house on the hill, joint accounts, dreams of children we never had time for. His family welcomed me. Especially Ethan, quiet, steady Ethan, who always seemed to see me when James was too busy looking ahead. The first time it happened wasn't planned. James was away on a business trip. Ethan came over to fix the leaking faucet James had ignored for months. We talked, we laughed. The house felt warm for the first time in years. 1 glass of wine became 2. Then his hand brushed mine. Then we were kissing in the kitchen like teenagers who didn't know better. I told myself it was once. A mistake. A moment of weakness. But once became twice. Twice became secret afternoons. Secret text. Secret glances across the dinner table when James hosted family nights. Ethan never asked me to leave James. I never asked him to stop. We both knew what we were doing was wrong, and we did it anyway. Then came the property. James's father passed away and left the family estate to both sons equally, but with one condition. If either divorced, their share would revert to the other brother. James laughed when he read the will. "Good thing we're solid," he said, kissing my forehead. I smiled back, but something inside me twisted. What I didn't know then was that James had already started moving money. Quiet transfers. Offshore accounts. Little pieces of our life disappearing into places I couldn't see. He thought I wouldn't notice. He thought I was too busy being the perfect wife until the day I found the statements. I sat at the kitchen island, heart hammering, reading numbers that didn't add up. Millions siphoned slowly, legally, into accounts only he controlled. The house. The investments. The future we built. He was preparing to leave me with nothing. That night, I didn't confront him. I poured myself a glass of wine, stared out at the city lights, and made a decision. If he wanted to play dirty, I would play smarter. And I already had the perfect partner in crime, his own brother. The affair didn't stop after I found the papers. It deepened. Every time James left for meetings, Ethan came over. We didn't just fall into bed anymore. We talked, we planned. We shared everything James tried to hide. Ethan knew about the transfers before I even told him. He'd suspected something for months. I never wanted to hurt him, Ethan said one night, tracing circles on my back. But he's hurting you. And I can't watch that. I believed him. Not because I was naive, but because the pain in his voice matched mine. James had always been the golden child, charming, successful, untouchable. Ethan was the quieter one, the one who stayed behind to run the family business while James chased bigger deals. James never let him forget it. The betrayal wasn't just the money. It was the erasure. James had rewritten our marriage in secret documents. He'd planned a clean exit, leaving me with debt and memories. He thought I'd cry, beg, fall apart. He underestimated me. I started gathering evidence. Bank records, emails, photos of the transfers. I met with a lawyer in another city. She listened without judgment. "You have leverage," she said. "But leverage only works if you're willing to use it." I was willing. The turning point came when James announced he wanted a break. He sat me down at dinner, calm as ever. "I think we need space. I've been feeling trapped." I nodded slowly. "Okay," I said. "We can talk about the division of assets tomorrow." His smile faltered. Just for a second. That night I went to Ethan's apartment. We didn't speak much. We just held each other. For the first time, it didn't feel like sin. It felt like survival. I filed for divorce the next week. Not quietly, publicly, with every piece of financial evidence attached. The court date was set. James was served at his office. I heard he turned white when he opened the envelope. Ethan stood by me. Not as a lover in public, but as family. He testified about the transfers he'd witnessed. about conversations he'd overheard, about how James had mocked me behind closed doors. The courtroom was silent when the judge read the findings. James had hidden assets, forged signatures, attempted to defraud the marital estate. The judge awarded me half of everything, including the family estate share that was supposed to go to. James looked at me across the aisle. For the first time, he looked small. The final hearing ended on a rainy Thursday. James lost the house, the investments, half the company shares. He walked out with a suitcase and a reputation in ruins. His friends distanced themselves. His business partners pulled back. He moved into a small apartment downtown, alone. Ethan and I didn't rush into anything. We waited, we healed. 6 months later, we started dating openly. No secrets. No shame. Just two people who found each other in the wreckage. I sold the family estate. Bought a smaller place with a view of the water. I started painting again, something I hadn't done since college. I traveled. I laughed louder. I lived without apology. James tried to reach out once. A long email, apologies, regrets, promises to change. I read it, then I deleted it. Not out of anger. Out of peace. Betrayal doesn't always come from strangers. Sometimes it wears the face of the person you trusted most. And revenge isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet paperwork, calm testimony, and walking away with everything that was always yours. I don't hate James. I don't even think about him often. What I carry now is clarity, strength, the knowledge that I am enough without him. Without his lies, without his name on my life. If someone tries to erase you, don't disappear. Gather your proof. Find your allies. Stand in your truth. And when the dust settles, you won't just survive, you'll rise. I'm Victoria. I was betrayed, I was broken, and then I became whole again.